When people put their heads together, focus their intent, and use their mind and their electromagnetic frequency that they give off, they're creating real physical change by not doing anything physical. So then we have... Alright, so we've already talked about the importance of your thoughts, how you are what you think. Remember, thoughts are for the brain, emotions are for the body. How you think and how you feel create your state of being. Your thoughts are some of the most important things in your life, because if you're not defined by a vision of the future, then you're left with the memories of the past. And we've talked about that in a lot of our videos, and I'll link that up in the card so you guys can better understand TCB, EET, and how important monitoring each and every thought that you have. But what I'm going to talk about today is something that I am extremely passionate about. I'm going to dive in deeper into these events that have happened, and I'm really going to push the issue in spreading these because I think it is just so vital for the human race, especially right now with everything that we're seeing in politics and currency and climate change, all this stuff. So what we're going to be talking about is Project Coherence, okay? Now this is the idea of a collective consciousness. What does this mean? This means when multiple people get together, we're talking about in the hundreds to the thousands of people come together with the same intention and have some form of meditation experience and put together their thoughts in a collective consciousness of one intention to create peace or global health and wealth, to spread love or gratitude. And we have done this so many times that it was alarming for me when I first found out. We've done this over 50 demonstrations. There are over 23 peer-reviewed studies that have been cited over 350 times from 200 independent universities and research institutes in 30 different countries, okay? The science on this is undeniable. And so what is happening? So first off, we have electromagnetic wave around us, right? So when we are just sitting here as ourselves and we create a thought, whether it's through our heart or our brain, we give off a pulsating electro wave like this. Have any of you ever been in a room with somebody and then someone walks in, maybe it was your parents or a friend or a sibling that walks in who's having a bad day, and you can immediately feel the energy shift in the room? They didn't say anything, you could just feel their energy change. If you have dogs, sometimes when people are having a bad day or crying, you see dogs freak out. That's because we give off electromagnetic frequencies, okay? And you can feel that. And when more people are together, okay, they have their field, and all of a sudden it connects and it grows bigger. And so when we have these Project Coherence, these peace gatherings, they create insane change. And that's what I'm going to talk to you today about. So what do these numbers mean? In 1983, the first time it was really done was in Lebanon, okay? And thousands of people got together for a total period of 2 months. And during this time, when they were all within the same intention in a peace gathering, there was a 70% decline in all assaults, traffic accidents, murders, war deaths, violence, you name it. There was a statistical 70% drop, and everything else was under control. There was no weather variations, there was no extra police activity, there was no super holidays, there was nothing. 70% change. This was such a profound peace gathering that they replicated this 7 times, okay, over the next 2 years in 7 different countries, including like the Netherlands and Yugoslavia, and they got the exact same results, okay? So we were seeing, okay, this is an incredible thing. When people put their heads together, focus their intent, and use their mind and their electromagnetic frequency that they give off, they're creating real physical change by not doing anything physical. So then we have 1987, where we had 7,000 trained meditators get together over the course of a 3-year period in no specific location, and multiple times over this 3-year period, these 7,000 people did a peace gathering with an intent for world peace. And during this time, there was incredible changes in world peace. The Cold War ended. The Berlin Wall fell. The Iraq war came to an end. South Africa started abolishing apartheid. Incredible change that could not be ignored from this peace gathering. And then one of the best ones was in Washington, D.C. in 1993, between like June and August. And there was basically 4,000 people for 2 months that came together every single day focusing on world peace. And literally, again, there was such a statistical difference, 30% decrease in violence, assault, rape, murder within Washington, D.C. And again, all controlled. There was no weather, there was no extra police, there was no holidays, none of this. Literally, crime dropped, and for months after it dropped. So we're seeing some incredibly statistical, verifiably scientific changes happening from when human beings get together and focus their intent on a good outcome. And so that's what we need to be focusing on, especially now in 2021. You know, it's kind of like what Tesla says, to find out the keys to the universe, you have to think in terms of vibration, energy, and frequency. And this is exactly what human beings are harnessing right now. You can see, if you've ever seen a Chladni plate, it's where they have that metal plate where they put sand on it and they vibrate with different frequencies and it puts different patterns. That's literally what we're seeing here. Not only that, but we've seen the reverse side effect of this. A old Princeton professor started the Global Consciousness Project, where he set about 100 different random number generators around the world. And they are supposed to give out random numbers of zeros or ones. And what do you do in a number random? You basically see 50%, 50%. Well, when gigantic astronomical events, usually of sorrow, occurred where a majority of everyone's consciousness was focused on it, the numbers did not come out 50-50, zeros and ones. We saw this with the deaths of Princess Diana, as well as 9/11. Huge historical events that were televised nationally, and the random number generators were no longer 50-50. So we're literally seeing human consciousness influence things on a energy to matter scale. And if you know my man, my myth, my legend, my boy Dr. Joe Dispenza, if you've read any of his books or heard any of his lectures, you need to right now. He's literally leading the charge with this. He does advanced retreats all over the world. He does about 6 a year, thousands of people, and he does a seated meditation, a standing meditation, a lying down meditation, and a walking meditation. And they are performing some mystical feats. People that are going from half blind to seeing, people that are curing tumors, diseases, any health issue, you name it, because they are in a room of thousands of people all being coherent, okay, Project Coherence, in the exact same thing. And so if we as human beings can wake up and realize the power that we have just through thought alone, and realize that there's more to this world than our 5 senses, right? We already know the electromagnetic spectrum, that visible light, what we perceive with our eyes, is 0.00, I'm going to put it up here, 0.0035% of everything that we can see in our universe. I mean, that's more than 99% going on around us that we can't perceive. And so it's just like Tesla says, we need to start thinking in means of energy, frequency, vibration. Because once we start realizing that there's more to just consumerism, materialism, and that you realize that you can just be defined by a thought, and that we can create change just through helping be thy neighbor, helping the people around you just through love and gratitude by reaching an elevated emotion and matching that with a clear intention, the possibilities are endless, and that's the world that we should all be striving for. So I hope this helped you out. Definitely go check it out. I'll link the data and the peer-reviewed studies. Remember, there's 23 studies peer-reviewed. You can check them out. They're pretty eye-opening. I'll link them in the description below. And if you found value in this, please leave a subscribe and a like. We're going to be sharing more content just like this. And I hope you guys can be defined by a thought of the future. Take it easy.